This is Love, Sex, Food with Jigs and Prema. Back to Love, Sex, Food. I'm Jigs.
And I'm Prema.
And thank you for joining us on episode 7.
It's been a while.
Yeah.
We have to apologize. We actually got up super early this morning. We're in India, we're in Goa, because we know we've been absent for a while. And I did say to Jigs this morning, the point of having a podcast is we actually do a podcast rather than saying we've got a podcast. But we have got a really good excuse, and that is that the last 6 weeks of our life have been a whirlwind of love, sex, food, romance, getting married, adventure.
Christmas, family, honeymoon.
And so we just had a little bit of a natural break because we wanted to be in this amazing energy. It's been just magical. But we're back. And so we thought today we'd do a little roundup of our wedding and give you the insider information about what really happened that day, the prep, the hacks that we did so that we could host a wedding for about 180 people, like 10 days before Christmas in central London without selling our souls. And yeah, just what our marriage really means to us.
Yeah, I mean, it was a very unusual approach coming from an Indian who has big traditional Indian weddings. We really wanted this to be about us. And for us to create our own tradition, and I think put our personal stamp on everything. I still remember the day when you were coming in to Liverpool Street to come and check the venue out. And on the way to Liverpool Street on Colchester High Street, you walked past a wedding dress shop, didn't you?
I did. I think this was the start of when we knew that there was going to be, our wedding was going to be a bit alternative, because I was so excited. I had this big idea about, taking my daughter and my mum, see my wedding dress. And then I was off to see Jigs in London. I was walking down a kind of little bit of an unsavory street in Colchester and basically saw my dress in the window, and I just knew it straight away. And I think the theme of just knowing it was pretty much our wedding. And so I knocked on the door, didn't have an appointment, didn't think I had much of a chance. The lady opened the door and said, "Oh, hi." I said, "I love this dress in the window. I think it might be my wedding dress." And so someone had just cancelled their appointment. So she said, "Come in." I literally tried the dress on there and then with about 10 minutes now to catch the train. And I just knew straight away. And she was like, "Wow, that is definitely your dress." So I had so little time. I just got my credit card out, paid for the dress in full, said, "My name is Prema," and that was all she had on her book, and then ran out. And she said that she'd been in the business for 30 years, giving a big shout out to Grace and Mason in Colchester. And she had never had anyone just literally walk off the street, buy a dress in about 15 minutes and then leave. So that was the start of knowing that our wedding was going to be full of surprises, spontaneity, and creativity.
Well, I mean, in the space of 24 hours, you found your wedding dress. We booked our town hall for the civil ceremony. We booked the evening venue for the wedding party. And we also bought your engagement ring. And that was in the space of 24 hours. And we were like, everyone's like, weddings are stressful, weddings are complicated. We just hacked out 4 of the biggest things in the space of 24 hours.
Yeah. And what we really wanted was for everyone to have just a really good time. So everything that we wanted, we kind of hacked, didn't we? So we had a few things on the list of what we felt would be fun. And I think that's, again, it was nothing, the wedding was not in any way influenced by other people. There was a few moments at the beginning where we were like Jigs said at the beginning, how many people are coming? This is an Indian wedding, but we kind of negotiated that down. But then the rest of it was just, we want to have this, but how can we do this bigger, better, bolder, more fun, more us? And so it kind of evolved like that.
Yeah, I mean, we still need to have the Indian ceremony at some point later this year. We had had a conversation with my parents about this, and the numbers got kind of crazy. It was about 480 people, or 240, which were my parents' guests, like friends and family. So we just chose, and that was giving us stress. So we just chose to leave that for 2026.
Mm.
Let's just concentrate on 2025 and actually being officially married. So it was, honestly, we had 100 people at the civil ceremony during the day, and then we had like an after party with our closest friends in the evening, and it was just a lot of fun. It was every touch point was just beautiful. We didn't take anything for granted. We had a massive delivery of like deep dish pizza from the Detroit Pizza Company. So shout out to them. Thank you so much. The pizza was incredible. We put a candy station on. I mean, Willy Wonka of New York can't get married to the baby massage guru of the world without having a candy station.
And we had golden tickets hidden in some of the big chocolate bars, mainly for the kids, but all the adults won them, and they were so excited. We got pictures of like golden tickets in people's Christmas trees, so that went down really, really well.
So we have to send them a gift on the 1st of February that has to reach them at a certain time, because that was what it said on the ticket. So, but it was fun. It was very joyful.
What about the cheese?
Oh my God, yeah. So we opted for, I mean, it was very non-traditional, our wedding. So our wedding cake was a tower of Ben and Jerry's ice cream,
which was actually fake because it was a logistical nightmare. We should also say, actually, at this point, anyone who's listening to this who was actually at our wedding, particularly in the crew that helped us set it up, we had half an hour between the previous party and our wedding to set up the whole thing. It was supposed to be an hour, but the traffic was so bad we had to like pack everything for the wedding, leave it in a car in an NCP car park, and get one of Jigsy's cousins to drive it over. We thought we had an hour, but the traffic was so bad, so we had half an hour to set up an entire wedding for 185 guests from scratch. And without all of those amazing people doing everything they were doing, it was just, absolutely amazing. But because of the logistical issues, we couldn't have a Ben & Jerry's ice cream towel because it all would have melted because there was no fridge or anything like that. So we hacked that, didn't we? We filled them up with rice, and a few people got the munchies later on and were like, yes, Ben & Jerry's. I need to prise the super glue tops off to find rice inside. That was a bit mean of us, wasn't it? Yeah. Can you imagine?
And then so one of our friends, Mandy, he introduced us to this beautiful Gorgonzola and wine bar just off the back of Berkeley Square. And the first time we met there, I think we just fell in love with the cheese. The cheese was incredible. So what we then decided was, let's order a whole tub, or not a tub, what do you call it? A wheel of Italian Gorgonzola. And then Prema's idea was to put it in a wheelbarrow. I'm not sure where she found that inspiration, but it was a great idea. So we got a black tablecloth, put this massive Gorgonzola wheel inside of the wheelbarrow, then put sparklers in there, and then surrounded it with crackers. And then and then we literally wheeled it out together.
What kind of like sparkling showstopper cheese?
But then also, no cheese wheelbarrow is ever going to do itself justice without a cheese song.
And to be fair, when I said the cheese needs a song, you looked
Yeah.
at me like I was one crazy lady.
That's like-
But it was, that was a genius move, because we had, well, hits the sky like a big piece of pie. That's the morning. And everyone just sang,
Yeah.
and we fed everyone. And that's one of my real, like, kind of showstopper moments from the wedding, for sure.
That was brilliant.
Although also the drums, the door player we had, if you've never been to a party with a door player, go find yourself one, because I don't know, it just takes it up to the next level. Me and my girlies, the Lakshmi ladies, we called ourselves, we went and got beautiful Indian outfits from Ealing Road for a kind of half through the wedding change. So we snuck off to this beautiful Indian style kind of year that happened to be in a venue in central London next to skyscrapers at a beautiful old church. That's how quirky the wedding was. We got changed in there, snuck round the outside, and then we had Ed Sheeran Sapphire playing, which is a super cool song. And then the door player played us in, and then we came through the main door, and it was wild. The energy was wild. I had the most beautiful red Indian dress on that was a surprise for Jix. He thought I was wearing something else, and I came in wearing that, and I felt sexy as. I loved it. I'm just smiling now.
I can still picture you in that entrance, and there's just all there is beautiful videos of you coming in with your lovely ladies, or your lovely Lakshmi ladies coming in, and me just being like an absolute goof staring at you with like just admiration and love. It's just I can literally still picture you coming in. It was one of the most beautiful sights I've ever seen. It was just incredible.
It's great. And that was obviously my second entrance, because my first entrance was also a bit of a surprise to you, because I had a bet with Jigs how many times he was going to cry during the day. And obviously I wanted to win, so I wanted to make sure that I had a few secret crying opportunities. So I pre-recorded a message for him at the ceremony before I came down the aisle that basically told him exactly how much he means to me, how much I love him, and how important the day was. So that was actually playing before I came in, and I think that set you off, didn't it?
Yeah, I mean, the over and under on 6 was a bit of a low barrier. I think just before the evening ceremony, I think I cried about 4 times. So yeah, and there's footage of me just bawling my eyes out, even just before Prema had actually come in, because of the beautiful words that she'd said over the PA system.
So what do you think? What was the best hack of our wedding? Because we did hack it. Like, basically, we found everything we wanted, and then we were like, okay, we got a really small budget. We don't want to compromise. Actually, we want to do it better.
I think the real, for me, the wedding venue where we had the party was incredible, because getting married, most people tend to get married during the summer. We got married in December, so we automatically had the backdrop of Christmas in London, which was stunning. The weather that day, we were so lucky. It was just sunny all throughout. I mean, we did have a contingency plan on how we were going to kind of navigate the evening if it was raining, but it was cold, but it was bright, it was clear, so the weather helped massively. The wedding venue itself, the evening, was perfect, absolutely perfect. Because here's the other thing, is that people really didn't know what was happening, to the point of, because we'd invited people to a church in the evening, our 130 odd guests that weren't able to come during the day thought we were getting married in the evening. They didn't realize it was a party. So everyone was there on time, promptly. Well done. Thank you, everyone. And then they came into what a celebration. I know I've avoided your question right now, but I think the venue makes a huge difference and the backdrop. I think, yeah, I think just the biggest hacks were we didn't focus too much on the procession of events. We looked at certain parts and said, how can we amplify them? So, for example, the food, right? The food can get very complicated, especially when it's a 4 or 5 hour event. There's roughly 200 people there. If you choose to go for like a seated dinner, then you're going to be spending 3 hours of that 4 hours just in between courses and stuff. And we didn't want that. We wanted a party. So the pizza hack was brilliant.
What about cocktails?
The co-
I mean, that's the most obvious hack. So we wanted to have cocktails, like cocktails in a can, easy. But that was working out quite expensive as well. So we decided to make our own cocktails and have a little bit of a competition to see which one would be most popular. I think I won, didn't I?
you can take the victory.
Mine looked amazing. So we had 2 cocktails, Premise Kiss, which was a kind of a take on a Cosmopolitan, and Getting Jiggy with It, which was like this jungle juice, evil, most toxic alcohol known to man.
It was green, so that's
And then we spent several days, I think it was days, it felt like days, basically concocting these giant vats of booze and then pouring them into 400 pouches for our guests. And then, they're keeping them frozen and bringing them out. But that was really super fun because there's like little touches like that I felt were really memorable. People really loved it. Also, this is not a hack, but something else I loved about our wedding was our wedding gift, which was vinyl. So we love vinyl. So we asked everyone to pick a vinyl for us for our very blossoming vinyl collection that represented who they were, like their favorite album ever, and then to pop a note in to say why. So now we have about 90 vinyls from all our besties, which was so much fun to open up all of the wrapping and everything and find the notes. It's like, who's this one from? And we didn't get any doubles, did we?
No.
Which was insane. Like everyone really has understood the assignment because we thought we were just going to get loads and loads of like Stevie, Michael Whitney, Lionel, like basically everyone knows what we like, but we didn't. We didn't get one of those. I think someone got us a Luther.
Yeah.
But the rest of them were like eclectic hats, weren't they? Like really amazing. So when we get our record room in our forever home, we will be able to play each individual album, see the message, remind us of our wedding and remind us of our friends. So I felt really grateful for that.
Absolutely. I mean, that was great. I mean, it was just a nice touch. And I think the other part that was really, really special were all the speeches. They were magnificent. There was also a performance. My wife gave us a performance, then did a mic drop moment. I think I'm still in shock.
Well, I mean, I didn't want to do a speech, and I know that Jigs loves Stevie. So we rehearsed before the wedding, me and a few girlies, You Are the Sunshine of My Life, and just got up there. And basically, it was kind of like bride bad karaoke. That's probably the best way to describe it, but I didn't care. I got everyone singing the last chorus with me. But you're right, when I finished, I just went, boom. And everyone was like, okay, right, was Prem not take a speech. I was like, that was it.
That was it, yeah. She didn't do a speech. She sang the song. But then, I think what was really, so everything about our love story has been a 360. We got married exactly a year to the day that we met, and we thought it'd only be fitting to complete the 360. It's crazy. As I said that, I literally got goosebumps. And what we decided was way before was that we would leave our own wedding early. And we ducked out at about 10:30. Prema threw the bouquet, smacked my cousin Hannah straight in the face as she was having a conversation. So she caught the bouquet, and we jumped in a black taxi, and we went to where it all began. We went to the Corinthian Hotel, to the Velvet Bar, and we sat and we had 2 martinis in the place where it all began 365 days prior. And it was just a beautiful ending to what has been the most magical year of our lives. And we couldn't have asked for it. Yeah, I mean, as love stories go, we couldn't have asked for anything better to finish a year together, being husband and wife,
Absolutely.
sipping a martini in the same bar as husband and wife when it started off as first date, Prema and Jigs.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was, honestly, it was absolutely incredible.
I love that part. I really did.
And also another highlight for me was your mum and dad's. Your mum was just so excited about the drummers, she called them, coming on board, and she kept on saying, Jigs, when the drummers coming. She was the first one to get changed from her English outfit into her Indian outfit. She was that excited. And then I remember dancing with her to the door player, and your dad was kind of on the sidelines, and then eventually something came over your dad, and your dad came in and he was dancing, and he was like, let me dance with my wife. It was absolutely brilliant. It was so nice. It was just a real heartwarming moment, but it was an incredible day. And like, it's weird. It's like we got married 6 weeks ago, and it feels like we've been married for decades, and not because of any other reason, of just how comfortable and natural and easy it feels that we're married. Because I don't think our relationships changed since we've got married. I think the only thing is now is that we are eternally connected. But we had this level of connection even just before we got married.
Yeah, definitely. I think, yeah, I mean, it's ironic. We're recording this from Goa, and this is where I was this time last year. I think this time last year I had decided to fly to see you in Malta.
Yeah.
I'd been here for just 2.5 weeks, and then I decided to give all that up and fly 17 hours to go on that 5th date with you for 10 days. And that was a really wild moment for me to just say, okay, I'm going to fully trust my gut. My gut says fly and see the sky, even though it was, really, it was probably the most radical, risky decision I've made in my life. And I think since you've been out here with me and you've seen how incredible it is here and how much I love it and how much I feel at home here, you can understand even more for me to remove myself from this situation with all my friends and basically in paradise, to just get on a flight to see you when I really didn't know how that was going to work out. I think it's probably shown you the level of devotion that I had.
Well,
Yeah.
Well, I mean, here's the thing, life in generally, right? With big risks come big rewards. And I think that was probably the riskiest thing you've ever done in your life, to just up and leave, having known someone for less than 24 hours cumulatively, and to travel, 17 hours to a country where you'd never been.
I'd never been. I didn't know anyone. I had no plan B. I only had a plan P.
And P.
P for Patel.
Patel. And here we are. And kind of, once again, we're in another 360 moment, because now, this time last year, we were both in Malta. You were with me, and now this time this year, we're both in Goa. So it's kind of crazy how it works. And so we're out here for about 6 weeks. We're spending a month in Goa. Prema loves Goa. I now love Goa. And we're actually looking at places where we could rent now here for a more permanent move for maybe 3 or 4 months a year.
Yeah, so a lot has happened. That is, again, a 360 to this moment here. 360 coming and knowing that this is my place, to now hopefully putting down some real roots. So yeah, it's just, again, I just think magic, as I always say, magic is real, love wins. And the wedding was magic.
Yeah.
My boys walking me down the aisle was magic. Emily being my bridesmaid was magic. All of our friends being there. Yeah, just so many synchronicities and signs and ease and flow and no stress, not one single cross word.
We didn't have one argument or one moment of just give me a second. During the whole marriage build up, marriage day, to be honest, we've not even had that one day since we've been together.
Which, when you put into the mix that people often say that getting married is stressful and it puts strain in your relationship, because we co-created everything. We did everything ourselves, from printing out the program to making the cocktails to kind of negotiating with Ben and Jerry's in Soho to get the tubs, to buying a lot of stuff from Temu and assembling it. We just did it all, and it had that flavor. And I think what so many people said to us was, wow, this is just like the best wedding that I've been to, actually, because of the love and joy. And everyone was said how they could feel the love between us. Like, a couple of my girlfriends were like, wow, I've never ever seen you look at anyone like you look at Jigs. Like, he is 100% your person. And some people who were at the wedding had never even met. We had friends who'd never met the other one.
We also got our first couple from our wedding to inquire about our love, sex, food retreat, which we're doing in May.
Yeah, so further details of that coming. We're really bubbling around love, sex, food. I think the biggest challenge that we have as a couple is we're so excited about everything, and we're so inspired about everything all of the time. I literally feel like my feet don't touch the ground, and sometimes they need to. So there will be some more details of that coming. But like I said, we've spent the last 6 weeks just being completely devoted to ourselves and enjoying it. And it's been amazing.
I would love to just kind of share this, though. I think one of the reasons why we haven't had an argument, and a lot of people say, like, well, that's probably bullshit. And I don't think we're ever going to argue. And the reason why is that all I want to do is make sure that you are the happiest you can be. And all you want to do is make sure I'm the happiest I can be. So we're generally putting ourselves, so we're generally putting the other person's happiness as a priority, right?
Mm-hmm.
Just wherever we can. And I will do anything to make you happy. And I know you'll do anything to make me happy. So therefore, the chances of us having a disagreement because we're not taking the other person's needs into consideration is very minute. And I think that's one of the reasons why the wedding wasn't stressful, because ultimately, if you wanted something and I could see it was going to make you happy, absolutely, why the hell not? Because once again, we chose that this wedding was about us and about ultimately giving our friends and our family the best experience. But we made ourselves the most happiest we could be. And I think I think that would be my words of wisdom to anyone, is that if you start like that, then it's a pretty good bloody place to keep on going.
Yeah. And just keep choosing you as a couple. Just keep choosing, to recommit to each other every day. And I think that that's what we've done, because we've had some you know, I think Emily, my daughter, when I told her that I was going to get married when you proposed to me, she was like, but you've only known each other like 6 months. Like, what are you going to do? Where are you going to live? Like, how are you going to make money? Like, what are you going to, all of these questions. Have you ever had an argument? How do you know if you can make up if you've never had an argument? And these are all very beautiful questions. And obviously I have raised a very emotionally intelligent daughter who's questioning me on this. But I think that when you know, and you can work on all of these things. But when you're honest about what you need and who you are, and you're not hiding, and you feel that comfortable that you can be all the flavors in front of your partner, you don't have to put something on, then your nervous system just relaxes to the point that when nothing really arises, it's like the way I describe our relationship is, for me, it's like being on a boat on the calmest seas, looking out at the sunset or the sunrise, lying back, like just receiving and allowing and just floating along on this boat, letting it take us wherever we're going. And I mean, I don't think you can be in a better sense of peace than that.
Yeah, that's very, yeah. I mean, if there's space on that boat for me, I'm there.
You are there. You got to be on the boat, because I'm really shit at putting the sails up and down.
Okay, fine.
And generally engines and all of that. It's not a Kremer job for sure.
I fix.
All right.
Yeah. So look, I think that's a beautiful way to wrap up what has been an overdue episode for some time. So sorry for the wait. We have been busy, but we are now fully committed back to Love, Sex, Food. A lot more to come this year. 2026 is going to be great. Not just for Love, Sex, Food, because Love, Sex, Food is a passion brand. It's a passion project that we have created. But what we know is consistency. So we will show up consistently for you. And then we've also both got a personal brand as well. So there's a lot going on, but we're very excited. And if you are, if you like what we're doing, please subscribe, hit the like button, do all the things that you're meant to do that kind of gives us the love that we need. And also, if you're interested in knowing more about the retreat, which will be in May, there'll be one in the UK and there'll be one in Italy as well. Just drop us a DM and just say, hey, interested, shoot us your email, and then we'll send out the details for you. But it will be an incredible, the one in Italy will be for a weekend, and the one in the UK will be for a day or a weekend.
Yeah. And if you want to be really nosy, you can go over to Instagram and see all the pictures that brings what we've talked about on this episode to life. You can see all the love and share that joy with us. We've got lots of cute videos, lots of great photos that people gave us. So come and join in our love over there as well. Follow us on Love, Sex, Food on Insta. All right. Sending you loads of love, and see you on the next episode.
See you in the next one.